Welcome to another episode of Real Life, Real Talk, Real Life with the Secrets of Money with your host, myself, Damon J. Brockenberry, the extraordinary, also known as Damon the Agent, aka Broker DTA. Now, for everyone, please follow me on all social media platforms if you're not already following me. That is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest. And it's hashtag Damon the Agent. Well, as always, today is Friday, February 20th, 2026. And again, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join me. And I'd like to jump right into the wonderful world of real estate. So today's topic is going to be about the top five repairs that give the best return. Now, this is for seller. We're actually about to enter going into the spring market. Today is February 20th, like I mentioned. And in about 2 weeks, we'll be in March. And March brings spring. And when spring comes, so does the spring housing market come. And that is normally the peak of when sellers are selling between March and September, really between March and August. But at the same time, it's the peak. So for those people who are looking to put their house on the market soon and trying to get a return on their investments, here are some top repairs, the top five repairs that give the best return on your property. Number one, paint, interior and exterior touch ups. These things are very critical. People might think that, oh, I don't need to do anything. I'm going to sell the property as is. And you can sell the property as is. But a lot of times when you're selling a property as is, what tends to happen is people tend to lowball you because when they come in and they see all the issues and repairs that they have to deal with, they deduct more than what you could have paid to do it. So painting and doing interior and exterior touch ups. Fresh, neutral paint makes a home feel clean. Photographs better, smells fresher, covers wear and tear. Buyers mentally discount homes that look tired, worn out. They're going to, like I said, they're going to automatically calculate, oh, okay, that's 5,000, that's 10,000, when it might only cost you 500 or less. So again, one of the highest returns, often 100% perceived value return relative to the cost. Now, depending on the size of your home is going to depend on how much it's going to cost you as far as getting these touch ups. So always calculate that into the equation. But always try to go with soft whites or light gray. Warm neutral colors are normally the best. Paint doesn't change square footage, it changes emotions. And understand a lot of times when people are buying things, people sometimes are emotional buyers. Number two, minor kitchen updates, not full renovations. I'm talking about simple things like new cabinet, fixed modern light fixtures, updated faucet, painted cabinets, new backsplash, and some granite. These things can be minor. You can always go on YouTube, you can always Google these things, but they can be very minor to you, but they can give you a greater return because when buyers are going into homes, there are certain things they look at. They look at kitchens, they look at bathrooms, they look at closet space, bedroom space. So a lot of times these things are very critical. Number three, the flooring. Worn out carpet kills deals. Let me tell you, people can tell that you try to get a shampoo 25 times. They can tell people been running all over in certain areas, whether it's your kids, your dog, your cat, or whatever. Worn out carpet kills deals. If you invest in like a refurbished or refinished hardware, it's a huge ROI, return on your investment. Replace carpet if you can, and deep clean if you cannot replace. These things are always needed and always necessary when you're trying to get a return. Again, like I said, you can sell a home for as is, but what are you trying to profit? Because buyers are going to deduct the moment they see a property and they may like the house, the area, but a lot of times, me as one of the professors, we talk and they'll say, well, I got to put X amount of dollars into this. So I don't want to offer them that because it's overpriced. Please take these things into consideration. Buyers see flooring first. If it's damaged, they assume the rest of the house wasn't maintained, even if it was. Number 4, and I talk about this a lot, curb appeal, curb appeal and exterior repairs. I get it. Most of the time, people are buying a house and they come inside and they fall in love with what they see. But I'm going to tell you this as a real estate professional, I pulled up to many properties with clients, and the moment we pulled up, they didn't want to go inside. And sometimes when I say, well, what's your reason? Is it the neighborhood? They'll say, nah, I just didn't like the curb appeal. So curb appeal is critical and huge. So here's some things that you can do for your curb appeal. You can get power washing, landscaping cleanup. Now, we're in the wintertime right now. I always like to tell people to fertilize your grass in the wintertime. The reason why I say if you just go get fertilizer and put it all over your grass, by the time the snow goes into the ground, by the time spring comes and it pops up, your home it stands out from the rest. It really does. Fix cracked steps, replace old mailbox. If you have the type of mailbox that's outside, replace those with a modern or new one. And if you have an old or outdated front door, replace the front door. These minor things give you a huge ROI, return on investment, when you're trying to sell your house. And number five, these are critical. Major system repairs, such as your roof, your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical. Buyers always want to know how old is the roof, especially on older homes. They always want to know how old is the HVAC. This is very critical, and this is the reason why many people get home inspections, because most home inspectors will give this information that you have X amount of life left on your roof. You have X amount of life left on your HVAC. And if you have electrical issues, these things that can cause critical problems for a potential buyer. Now, I explained this before, that I always tell buyers to always get a home inspection, because you do not know what you are inheriting for a home. And it is very critical, because I know of a buyer, was not my client, who bought a home, did not get a home inspection because they really wanted the house. And this was during a seller's market. And when they moved into the house, they started plugging up things and everything blew. Their TV blew, their microwave blew, everything blew. And come to find out, they had electrical issues. So when you are doing these minor repairs and you're giving the latest and greatest to your potential buyers, you will get a huge return on your investment. Even if cosmetic upgrades exist, buyers hesitate when the systems are old, when the roof are old, when the curb appeal is bad, when the flooring is bad, when it's carpet worn out, when outdated kitchen things, appliances and stuff. They turn around and leave, because again, it has to be appealing to the eyes, and for most buyer, it has to scream home to the buyer. So when you want people to purchase your home, especially in a buyer's market right now, you have to stand out. And one of the things that helps you stand out are getting these 5 things done, which are critical. Now, what doesn't give great return is luxury appliance in mid-tier homes, high-end custom closets, depending on the market and what area, sometimes swimming pools, removing functional bedrooms and turning them into garages, and heavy personalization. This is why when you list a home or put a house on the market, you want to depersonalize it. Meaning, for example, in this area in sports, there are a lot of Commander fans, there are a lot of Cowboys fans. I kid you not, I had a client, and I laugh about this. I had a client, we walked into a home, it was a couple, and the wife loved the home. The husband came down in the basement, and the homeowner who was selling the home had, I can't remember if it was Cowboys or Commanders. It was one of them, because they were the opposite fans. I think it was Cowboys. They had Cowboys everywhere. The husband said, come on, let's go. We don't want this house. And I said, okay, you can always put your own team up here. He was like, nah, I don't want this house, because I done seen that now and everything. So I know people are a huge fan, but let's be real. Teams are not paying you. And when you're trying to sell your home, they're not helping you. So it's good to love your team, to be a fan of your team, but the moment you put your house market, remove those things, because you don't know who's going to walk through that home and be turned off by something as simple as that. To me, it was a small fix. They're going to, by the time you move out, that's going to be removed anyway. You can replace yours. But for these people, they were very critical and adamant about not wanting to buy that house, the husband, after he saw that. So what I'm saying to you is, do not personalize it and leave it and think everyone is going to want and have the same eye lens as you, because people don't see things through the same eye lens as you. People see things differently. You want to be neutral to all, because the goal is to sell your property, to get your equity, and to move on. That is the goal. So those are the top five. Let me go, but the top five repairs that give the best return. All right. I'm going to be back with, I'm sorry, got my little notes right here. I'm going to be back with my house of the day. I'm sorry, I got my house of the day. All right. 1 second. And at the same time, if you all are free tomorrow between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., start real estate. Now I'm going into my Q&A, questions, answers. If you all have any questions, please feel free to ask them, send them to me, because just like you have questions, others have questions, and I love answering these questions for all. So the first question is, should buyers be concerned about high-risk insurance zones in the DMV? Should buyers be concerned about high-risk insurance zones in the DMV? This is a great question. Now, specifically in the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, and Virginia, it's going to be based off the location. It's going to be depending on your location, because in DC, they have certain restrictions and guidelines. Same thing goes for Maryland. Same thing goes for Virginia. Now, if you're in particularly Maryland or Virginia and you're near flood zones such as the Potomac River, Anacostia River, Rock Creek Park in DC, Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, low flying parts of Prince George's County, just like if you're going up 50 and you see the planes and everything off of Church Road. If a property is in a FEMA special flood hazard area, lenders here, flood insurance. Insurance premiums can be high. Resale pool may shrink. Buyers should check the FEMA flood maps. Ask for insurance quotes before removing any contingencies when it pertains to this. Tree and storm risk. Older neighborhoods in DC, such as Tacoma Park and up in that area close to Montgomery County, large mature trees, higher storm damage risk, higher homeowner premium. So again, this is all relative to location, depending. Older housing stock rise. DC and inner suburbs. Homes built prior to 1978, which also requires lead paint concerns, outdated electrical panels, old sewer lines. Insurance risk isn't just floods, it's age, location, and claim history. So that's all depends upon the location more so than anything. Question number 2. Are there warranties on homes that are transferable? Are there warranties on home that are transferable? The answer to this is yes. And this is a huge leverage for sellers in many cases, especially when sellers buy new appliances, get new roofing, new HVAC, things of that nature. Transferring the warranty is critical. Now, it all depends, but sellers can transfer it over, make it a better and smooth transaction for buyers. Always ask for warranty documentations before settlement. You can always ask, get the realtor to ask that, or whatever the case may be. Number 3, red flags buyers and sellers miss. Red flags buyers and sellers miss. Now, this is where experience shows up, because for buyers, red flags can be fresh paint covering water damage. Like I mentioned about doing the repairs, but you have to be critical. This is why the home inspector comes into play. And you can have fresh paint covering water damage. You can have strong air fresheners in a property masking a smell that could be in the walls or anything. You can have uneven floors, horizontal foundation cracks, poor electrical work, sewer line issues, overpriced flips with cosmetic upgrades but old systems. This means the homes that you're seeing that are being renovated, you go in there and you see people who the flooring looks good, everything looks good, but the HVAC is totally outdated. They never replaced it. So you got to be careful. Those are red flags. For sellers, a key red flag, especially in this market, and I briefly mentioned it on my previous podcast, was overpricing because of emotion. Meaning people have sentimental values to a home, so they think that their house is worth $1 million, but all the houses in their area only sell it for $600,000. You have to be realistic, because even though you may feel like it's worth it, others are not. Your home is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay for, and market condition. Also, ignoring days on market data. Sometimes people will see, a house been sitting on the market, or several houses been sitting on the market for 165 days, and then they expect their house to sell in 2 weeks. You have to pay attention, sellers. Listing during poor seasonal timing. And to be honest with you, houses sell all year round, especially with me, because every house I touch turns to sold. But let's be realistic. There are some slow periods throughout the year. Just like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, that spring is around the corner and that things start to pick up in the spring season between March and September, mainly between March and August. But after school starts in September, between September and the end of the year, that is the slowest season. The reason being is because there are so many holidays after that, after Labor Day. Then, even though Halloween is not a real, but Labor Day, then you have Veterans Day, and then you have Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, you have Hanukkah, you have Kwanzaa, you have Christmas, you have New Year. Because of all of these holidays, people sometimes tend to want to spend time with their family, and they don't always go out. And then it gets colder. Just like a couple of weeks ago when it was freezing, we had the snowstorm. People didn't go outside because mostly people couldn't even move, for one, and then two, it was extremely cold. So people be like, oh, you know what, I'll wait. And that's exactly what people do. And then the thing is, though, is deferred maintenance for catching up at the inspection. And then also with sellers accepting the highest price instead of accepting the strongest offer. The offer can be someone putting three, like let's say, for example, let's say the house at 500,000, okay? And someone offers 510,000, but they only put down 2,000 as their earnest money deposit. And then on top of that, they want to close, let's say in 60 days. And let's say also they also have all these requirements. They want you to pay all their closing costs. Is that a better offer than someone offering 500,000, putting down 25,000, closing in 30 days, and not asking for any closing? See, you have to look at the whole package because it's about the numbers, but it's also about the strongest. So sellers, you have to really take that into consideration when you are looking at things, because you have to understand some things are red flags. Number 4, what would you tell a hold up. Number 4, would you ever tell a client not to buy right now? This is a great question. Would you ever tell a client not to buy right now? And my answer is yes, I would. The reason is several reasons. One is sometimes clients don't have the savings. They just don't have the savings. Okay. Number 2, they can have a job that's unstable. Just like, for example, with someone working for the government, and if their job is unstable and not sure, I would tell them to wait to make sure that they're sure. I'm not going to say, oh, buy a house and then they turn around and lose the job next week. That's, to be truthful, is just that realtor only thinking about themselves. Me personally, I put myself in my client's shoes, so I'm thinking long term. Also, if a person has they're stretching their debt to income ratio and their debt to income ratio is extremely high, yes, I would tell them you need to wait. Also, if they're emotionally pressured into buying. And what that means is, let's say you go into a new construction and the sales rep is trying to get you to hurry up and sign a contract. For example, you go in there on a Saturday and then on Sunday, they're telling you to, oh, we need you to put a deposit down and we need you to hurry up and sign this contract. No, because they're trying to get you based off your emotions. You have to be logical when you're buying a home too. Yes, there is some emotion involved in it, but you have to be logical too, because if not, you may have buyer's remorse. There are plenty of people who have buyer's remorse. They buy a home and then they regret buying a home. And then they say, you know what, forget this. I don't want you to ever have buyer's remorse. So yes, I would tell a person right now it's not the best time to buy, because it's not always about, for me, it's not about getting a sell. It's about making sure that my clients are comfortable, happy in their home, and at the same time, making sure that they understand that I advise them properly, because I would want someone to do the same for me. Question number 5, one piece of advice for building wealth through real estate. One piece of advice for building wealth through real estate. If I had to give one, I would say buy and hold something that cash flows or appreciates and keep it. For example, when people are trying to rent, I tell them to buy, because if you're going to invest in 2, 3, 4 years, the reason why I tell them to buy is because during that 2 and 3 years while you're paying your mortgage instead of your rent, you're building equity. Then when you leave, you can actually sell it because it has appreciated. So the way you build wealth is you have to build you have to build equity, and you have to know when to pull it, when to use it. You also could use real estate as collateral. So when you buy a real estate property, even if you don't live in it and you rent it out, you can get rental income by that way. On top of that, when you want to apply for things such as a business loan, they're going to ask you, do you own or rent on the application? The reason why they ask you, do you own or rent, is because if you own, and the moment they run your credit and they see that it matches up with a mortgage, guess what? Your approval rating shoots up. You have now collateral to get a business loan and to do things. This is one of the reasons why people like Donald Trump has gained wealth. He ain't the smartest or the brightest, but he knows what to do. See, what you have to do is, you don't have to be the smartest or the brightest. You just have to know certain people and certain things to do. So when you're trying to build wealth through real estate, there are many ways. You can buy, hold, flip. You can do rental properties. You can also, like I said, build the equity in the home, pull from it. You can do so much when it pertains to that. So most people lose wealth because they sell too early. They refinance irresponsibly. They over upgrade. They don't think long term. Wealth in real estate comes from time and market, equity growth, rent increases, tax advantages, leverage. The first property is the hardest, the second builds momentum. Remember that. So I hope that I answered all of your questions. If you have any more questions, please feel free to send them to me because, like I said before, there's so many people who are there's so many people who are basically doing the same thing like you. They want to buy real estate, they want to make money, but they don't know what to do. So tell them to come see me. All right. I'm coming right back with my topic of the day, and I won't be long. Now, real quick, before I get into this topic, please make sure that you are following me on all social media platforms. That is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, Snapchat, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and TikTok. I think I said all of them. But real quick, y'all, I just want to talk about life be life. So many people go through so many things, and so many people bottle up things inside, and they don't talk to other people about it. But reality is, though, even when you don't talk to other people about it, you need to sometimes stop and reflect. I was speaking with someone, and I told them when they get stressed out, if they home, just turn off stuff. Turn off your phones, turn off your TV, go lay down, listen to some music. Life be life for so many people, and sometimes people are just mean out here, y'all. Please be nice to people because you never know what they're going through. Just like people don't know what you're going through. You may not talk to people, but everybody at some point in time in their life are going through something that's stressful, that's hurtful, that's, overwhelming. Everybody goes through things. No matter how perfect people may seem, we're all human. We all got problems and issues that we deal with. People just handle them differently. And the only thing that I would like to say is you don't know what others are going through, just like they don't know what you're going through. Because life be life and for everyone. I don't care who it is. No, who you think perfect, they ain't perfect. They gone through something. And I'm talking about within the last 12 months. Could have been within the last 12 hours. All I'm saying is instead of being mean to people, cursing people out, angry at people, try being nice to people. Because again, you don't know what others are going through, just like others don't know what you're going through. And if you know of one or two people who keep popping up on your mind, reach out to them, call them, or text them. Just say, hey, how you doing? You popped up on my mind. I was just thinking about you. I hope all is well. You'll be surprised. Something as simple as that will go a long way because sometimes people could be on the edge or the ledge, ready to just give it all up. But sometimes people need that little voice from you to help them not go overboard. Just like you might need it as well too. So again, like I said, life be life for everyone. Everyone, well, a lot of people know that I'm working on my men's group that I'm doing. And I've had a couple of fellas reach out to me saying that they want to join. And, it's a good thing to them. And the funny thing is, though, is on Monday, I do a thing called M3 Men's Message Monday. And sometimes when I look at how many people have liked it, I might get 5 likes. But I've had more than 5 men who told me they looked at it. So that means no matter what you post or what you're doing, people are watching you. And the only thing that I want to say is also is to any fellas who needs to have a voice or an ear, reach out to me. I'm here to talk to you. Again, most likely the men's formation will be complete. I want to say before April, but my birthday is March 2nd. So the whole month of March, I'm normally celebrating. I'm working, but I'm also celebrating. So at the same time, though, but I'm going to put everything together. So when April comes, we're going to begin to do certain things. But to the men, hey, just keep reaching out to me. We'll continue to talk, collaborate. But to everyone else, y'all, family members included, be nice to people, y'all. Stop being mean. Stop cursing people out. Stop being angry. Stop. Because you don't know what others are going through. And again, people don't know what you're going through. You'll be surprised. When you frown, people frown back at you. When you smile, people smile back at you. When you're nice, someone be nice back to you. It's called karma, y'all, and it's real. So That's what I want to talk about when it pertains to life. It's lifing. All right, I'll be back with my finishing up. All right, now I'm just going to give a brief recap. The top 5 appears that give the excuse me. The top 5 appears that give the best return. Number 1, paint. Number 2, minor kitchen updates. Number 3, flooring updates. Number 4, curb appeal and exterior repairs. And number 5, major system repairs such as your roof, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. And if you need to get all that information, just rewind back. This podcast is on YouTube. It's on all my social media, but you can always find me on YouTube at the @ Damon the Agent on YouTube. And you can click on live. You'll find all of my podcasts. But I also want to finish up saying again, life be lifing for everyone, y'all. So please be nice because you never know who you may impact. And as always, I'm going to end with my commercial.
We sure could use the money. Time for some upgrades. We're pregnant.
Oh my goodness. I need to downsize.
We buy houses for cash as is. Damon the Agent. A name you can trust.